The video for the 6th of November is entitled A Cosmic Truth Serum. Imagine with me, what if a cosmic truth serum could be administered globally in the atmosphere such that lying would be extremely painful, virtually impossible? How long would that be in effect before we could see real changes in the world that would support life and love, rather than the dog-eat-dog insanity that has long been our experiential reality? Would a year be long enough to transform our lives and allow us to actually evolve into loving beings with the innate wisdom to help one another and succeed instead of the horror of failure we have known? Could God, or whoever is the prime creator, do this? I was taught that with God all things are possible. Okay, if it can be conceived, it can be achieved. It can also be achieved. Are you listening, God? Isn't it time you end this nonsense that has been ongoing on Earth for far too long? This topic was actually came to mind, created, however you want to say it, based on a conversation that I had with one of my son's friends at the concert last night. Now, before I went to the concert, I was in a discussion group in which we, the first Friday of every month is discussion night in this group that I go to. And the topic was, of course, the election. And no one in that group is for Hillary, not a single person. Most of them are for Trump. There's a couple like me that are not really planning on voting for either candidate. In my situation, until we take out the powers behind the governments. We know about the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Clintons and the Bushes and the humans that have faces that we can identify with. What we don't know about is the evil entities like Lucifer, who are behind the scenes making a world that's based on lies and feeding off of negative energy because that's their survival. What if all of this could be overcome? Now, first thing is up to God. You and I can't do it. I don't care how powerful we think we are. We cannot remove the spiritual aspects, the demonic aspects. That's not our responsibility. It's not our capability. That's up to the Creator. That's up to God. Now, I do believe that Lucifer created religion. God didn't create religion. But there are truths, nevertheless, that have come through in all religions. A big one is, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Well, how can we know the truth if we live in a world that is dominated by lies and empowered by force? Not free will, not choices, but force. They only want you to make a choice that coincides with their agenda, which continues war, continues theft, continues poverty, continues all of the banes that we see humanity having to face on this planet, which we have faced generation after generation, millennia after millennia, and even, it's ridiculous. I was going to say century after century, but I went to the millennia first, and I got it out of order. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm really tired. And yet, I listen to people in conversations that I have, And many people are very hopeful about Donald Trump. I'd be hopeful about Donald Trump too, if I felt that we actually were able to level the playing field and get rid of the corporations. If we don't do that first, whatever Donald Trump does is meaningless. He's going to be powerless in a Senate and Congress, and with a judicial system that's still corrupted. These are beings that either have to be transformed or taken out. They cannot be continued on Earth anywhere, certainly not in the United States. And as the United States goes, the whole world's going to go. You may not like that. People that live in other countries may not like that. But we are the military arm of the entire world and of the dark, especially the dark forces, the cabal. We are the ones that carry out their insanity. Now, of course, England does that, France does that, Germany does that, and other countries have also been infiltrated by these demonic representatives. But these are people who have enriched themselves and empowered themselves at the expense of everyone else. What would happen if we had that truth serum I mentioned in the blurb? What would happen if we couldn't lie? The power of the cabal is that it creates confusion. That's why I say they created religion. Religion hasn't liberated not one single person ever, no matter what the religion is. It's all a delusion and an illusion. It's all fake and it's all make-believe. There's nothing real in it, even though there's truth, as there always has to be, mixed in with the lying system. That which divides us does not come from a loving God. A loving God could only love us and teach love and expect us to love one another as the God, the Creator, supposedly loves us. Now, if I was a loving Creator, I certainly would not have allowed the mess that we've gotten ourselves into, or that we're in on this planet. It just wouldn't have happened. I would not have allowed demons to run amok on a planet anywhere in the universe, or however many universes there might be. I mean, that is absolutely crazy, insane idiocy. I mean, it does not make sense to anybody that uses any kind of logic. I mean, if we're going to build a world, we have to learn, first of all, to cooperate. But we can't cooperate based on lies. When one group is saying one thing and another group is saying another thing and another group is saying another thing, and we're all fighting with each other over who's right. The only thing that's right is that we love one another. There is no other right. It's not which concept is true. The only concept that is true is that we're here on this planet and we're faced with immense dilemmas. And if we study history at all of the planet itself, we know that the planet has undergone at least 4 or 5 destructions previous to our advent, to us coming in here as human beings. It has been destroyed and rebuilt again. And this is the 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever chance that we've had to make a decent world. Why? Because somebody allowed demons to run amok on this planet. And they've gotten away with it, with the destruction, many times. When will it end? I'd like to see a truth serum applied that nobody could evade, nobody could run away from it, that it is established that this world is based on truth. And we know this saying, and I believe it's true: you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Thank you for listening, and namaste.